Hi lovely people, welcome back to my tutorial for today. And how are you all doing? Please, if you're yet to subscribe, kindly do so by hitting on that red icon to subscribe, and also touch the notification bell, select all to be the first to be notified whenever we upload a new video. So in our today's class, we shall be looking at how to make a very simple free gown. So I'll be using this Ankara fabric for it. Then looking at the picture, at the chest line, you will see there is a little bit a pleat, or a little bit gather that they made on the chest part. So I'll be using this plain satin doll face for it, and I also use this satin for the placket that they did at the front part. So let's get started. So I'll first of all fold this my Ankara fabric into four. Okay, here our measurement will start from this line and at the folded part. As you can see, I folded this fabric into four equal parts because this dress won't be having a zipper. So the shoulder that we are working with is 16 inches. Divide by 2 to give us 8. So here we'll mark our 8 inches. Then we mark our 3 inches for shoulder slope. And the armhole we are working with is 18 inches. Divide by 2 to give us 9 inches. But first of all, we mark our 1 inch for our shoulder slope. Then we mark our 9 inches. Just draw a straight line to connect it. So here I will connect the shoulder slope together from the 1 inch to the 3 inches. So at this 9 inch here, we make a straight line where our bust measurement will be taken. So here, the bust we are working with is 42 inches. Divide by 4 to give us 10.5. So we mark our 10.5 here. And because this is a free gown, we'll be adding extra 1.5 inches for the bust area. Then 2 inches for our seam allowance. Then from the shoulder, we mark our waistline, and the waistline, the waistline is 17 inches. So from the shoulder, we take our 17 inches, which is here. So at this line now, we take our waist measurement, and the waist we are working with is 38 inches. Divide by 4 to give us 9.5. So here we mark our 9.5. At the waistline, we'll be adding an allowance of 2 inches for ease, then 2 inches for our seam allowance. Okay, we added extra 2 inches for our seam allowance. So from our waistline to our hip line is 9 inches. So we take our 9 inches line measurement. So at this point here, we'll take our hip measurement, and the hip we are working with is 48 inches. Divide by 4 to give us 12. So we mark our 12 inches here. Then we add 2 inches for ease and 2 inches for our seam allowance. The length of our gown is 40 inches. Then we added extra 2 inches for folding. So here at our hip line, what we have here altogether plus the allowance is 16 inches. So we just take that 16 inches down to our hemline and mark the 16 inches. So here now we connect all those lines together. After that, I'll just go ahead and cut it out. Okay, for our armhole, we just take the half of this, our armhole, which is 4.5. Then we come in by 1.5 from this point. Just come in by 1.5. Then from there, then for our neckline, for the back, I'll be using 1.5 inches. Then for the front, I'll be using 4 inches. Then for our neck depth, I'll be using 3 inches. I'll just mark 1.5 for my back, then 4 inches for the front. Then from this 3 like this, so I'll just first of all remove the back first before removing the front part. So I will just separate it. Okay, I've cut out everything and this is what I have. So before I go ahead to make a slit at the front part where my placket will be, I'll first of all cut out the lining for the front and the back. Then I will line up this front part. I'll just line up the side. Then just sew my up, because looking at the picture, you will see an attachment at the upper part. There's another fabric that they attach that they use in turning it up. So I won't be using my lining to turn this up. I will just stitch it together with my lining. It's only this the side part and the hem part that I'll be lining up. Then I'll now turn over, then stitch up this upper part. Look, I've carefully lined it up with my lining, as you can see. Then I turn it up after lining the both side and the hemming part. Then now stitch up this neck, and I also close up my armhole part. So I also did the same thing at the front part. Then I sew up this place, the neck and the armhole part. Okay, now I've cut out my sleeve. Okay, this is the sleeve. I've also lined it up. I'll just be attaching it to my dress after joining the both side. And I've also cut out a pocket for it. And please, if you don't know how to cut your sleeve by now, I'll be leaving a link at the description section on how to cut a perfect sleeve and also a flare sleeve there, so you can watch it. So the next thing we are going to do now is to fold our front fabric into 2 equal parts so we can determine the center. You just fold it into 2 equal parts so to determine the midpoint. So I've also cut out 3.5 inches. I used 3.5 inches, then I folded it into 2. Then I fold half inch here and half an inch this side. So half inch for the both side. Then I now fold it into 2. So what I will do now is to determine the length of my placket. So here I'll be using 7 inches. Okay, I'll be using 7.5 inches for it. So I'll just mark my 7.5 inches here. And I'll just notch the midpoint. I'll just notch here. So for the length of this one, determines how you want it to be. So since I'm using 7.5, so 7.5, so what I will have here is 7.5 times 2, which is 15. So I'll be having 15 inches for the length. So I'll just open this place up this way. So I'll just make a straight line. I'll just draw a straight line to meet this 7 inches that is here. So the next thing I'll do now is to take half inch for the both side. I'll just mark half an inch for this side, and I'll mark half inch for this side. Hope you are seeing what I'm doing. Then I'll go all by 1 inch. So you can go by half an inch. Then I'll connect the line in a triangular form this way. This way. So I'll have something like this. So now I'll go ahead and open it up. So I've opened it up and this is what I have. Reaching here, you will go in this way. So we go to the machine together now and use this to sew it up. Okay, I've also cut out a straight band for my gathers at the chest line here. So after sewing this one, I'll now gather it small at this chest line. I'll gather it this way. So that after, I will fold it like this and use my iron to hold it firm. So first, let's go to the machine and attach this one first. Okay, first thing to do is to turn the back of your fabric this way. Then place this like this at the half inches. Then another thing to consider is to make sure that this place is covered like this way. Yeah, that is open. You sew here, then turn and sew this way. When you reach that edge, then you raise your press foot up like this, then adjust this one, then you take it down and continue your sewing. Then you take it up again and flip your clothes. Make sure that you set your fabric very well. Okay, this is it. The next thing to do now is to cut out this. Okay, I will now turn the right face, then bring it in this way. But after folding it this way, you will notice that here at this down part, let me show you what I mean. This down part here will be thicker. I'll have something like this. But this down part, this part here is thick. So what we will do is to reduce this part. We just mark it. We just mark here, open it up here. Then when I close it, let me show you what I mean. This edge here, I'll mark it. So when I close it, I'll take off this measurement straight like this. Then from this other edge, I'll slant it this way. So I'll have this. Hope you can see it clearly. So here now, I'll just use my scissors and trim out this part. So after cutting it out now, you will notice that this place is not that thick again. So now I'll just go ahead and fold it this way and stitch it on top here, down. Okay, I'll sew the two sides. I'll just put it to wrap on each other, then I'll use my pin to hold this part. After doing this now, I'll just shift it over this way. Here. I'll then close out this part. Then I'll come down like this, then I'll sew it straight down. So the next thing to do again now is to take our chest measurements, and the chest we are working with is 9 inches. Okay, from my shoulder here, I'll just take 9 inches, then I'll connect it, just draw a straight line to connect it to this point. Mark it to this part too. So this 9 now that I drew here, I will close up this part from the back. Turning the wrong side, I'll close it up this way, and I'll close the other end too. Then I'll now turn it over, then pleat it on the top. Okay, now I've closed the two edges together, and I've also folded this mouth. So what I'll do now is to take it this way, then I'll pleat it. After, I'll turn it over this way, then use my iron to hold it firm. Okay, so now this is what we have. The next thing to do now is to join the back and the front shoulder. Just join the back, these two shoulders. Then after that, I'll take my round neck measurement. But let me first of all go and join the shoulders. Okay, now I've joined the two shoulders together. So the next thing to do now is to take my round neck measurement. I just take the round neck this way. And what I have here is 21.5 inches. So I'll go ahead and use and cut out. I'll use like 1.5 inches for the width. Then I'll cut out 21.5 inches for the length. Then I'll use it and tape out the round neck. After taping the neck, I'll use my body measurements to join the both side. Then I'll insert my pocket and attach my sleeve, and that will be all. Thank you for watching till the end. And please, if you're yet to subscribe, kindly do so by hitting on that red icon to subscribe. And also touch notification bell. Select all to be the first to be notified whenever we upload a new video. Love you all. Bye.